We've got running, wrestling, and baseball. All that and a new segment of Coach Talk coming up on Overtime. Welcome to the early winter edition of Overtime. I'm your host, Danny Morgessi. Winter sports are well underway as we enter the new year after our long winter break. Let's get back into the action. As many senior athletes wrap up their athletic careers, some students will go on to compete in college-level athletics. One runner in particular has achieved a lot in high school. Let's take a look.
Warwick Valley High School senior Behailu Arcuri recently became the New York State Class A male cross-country champion. This isn't the only major honor Behailu has received in recent weeks, as he also became the second male in history to place top 10 in large class for 4 consecutive years and was named Varsity 845's Boys Cross Country Runner of the Year.
In my senior year, going into the race, I definitely knew I wouldn't be satisfied with anything less than a win, so it was definitely something I was looking for.
Behailu also announced his commitment to Penn State to continue his already immensely successful cross-country career.
They have a great program, so I think if I want to continue my athletics professionally for a couple of years, I think that Penn State would be a great place to succeed.
Reporting for WVTV, I'm Matt Traverso.
Congratulations to Behailu for securing a state championship title and extending his running career as a Nittany Lion at Penn State. We wish him luck in his post-high school career. Don't go away. We're coming back with Coach Talk right after the break.
Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
Of course I've thought about it, but there's all this stuff in the way.
Oh, you're not kidding.
The house, the kids are going to college.
My new car.
Car? You bought a new car?
Oh, hey, you should meet my friend Avo. Avo's a retirement coach. He'll help get you started.
But what does Avo tell you to do?
You don't know? Focus on your future. Your goals can still be met.
But how?
Target your tomorrow. And use the Avo bet.
You sing?
Not really. A is for taking action. Start off with a plan.
You built these letters?
Yep. V is for variety. There's so many ways you can.
I follow you.
Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice sign.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Cool.
Welcome to the holiday edition of Coach Talk. I'm Ryan Candia. Thanks for checking in with us on Overtime on the WV Television YouTube page. In addition to Overtime, you can find Wildcat News, In the Valley, and Short Stack. Joining me today is the newest New York State XC Class A New York State champion, Behailu Arcuri. Behailu, thanks for being here and congratulations on your New York State Cross Country Championship.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. First question we have for you. Behailu, you're originally from Ethiopia. Can you tell us about any of your childhood memories of living there? Can you talk to that?
Obviously it's a lot different than living here. I was born into poverty, and so where I lived there were a lot of poor people, and it was, I guess, a given when we had meals and stuff. Sometimes we'd have one meal a day, so it was really, really different than here. And I was born in a really bad area, so there were murders and other things being committed there a lot. And so it was a rough childhood, but I guess I was very I was shielded by my mother, and she did a great job, I think, turning me into the person I am today. So
yeah, you must have a really strong mother. I mean, that's amazing that you
definitely. I mean, so I was born and I didn't know my father. I never met my father. And I had 7 other sisters. I was the only boy. I was the only boy and the youngest. And so my mother was always, I was the favorite child. being the only boy. And my name actually, Behailu, means with his strength, and which I was given to a church. And
awesome.
and so yeah, my mom played both of the parents' roles, and so she did a great job.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yep.
So how old were you when you came to the United States?
I was 10 years old when I first came to the U.S.
Yeah, what was that like? Was that a tough transition, or?
Yeah, it was a lot different because I expected certain things and not others, such as, when we were in the orphanage, we were told how America is in heaven and the roads are paved with gold, and how some people, they said like they wear their clothing once and they just throw it away. So all this different things I've been told. When I first came here, I realized as soon as I got to the airport that it was actually not true.
Right.
And I didn't speak a word of English because I had no prior education.
Right.
And so that was the difficult part, I think, coming here, and then they had to make a decision. You have a 10-year-old kid who does not speak a word of English, and where do they put him in class? And so they actually ended up putting me in 5th grade, which matched my age, but I didn't speak a word of English, so it was.
What was that like? Did you have to learn on the fly, or did you take lessons? Or?
Yeah, so I had tutors at home.
Sure.
But it was just more of, you have to learn, or there was no way of communicating. So I didn't speak anything, and so I was just there, day by day, just learning little at a time. And I remember times where I'd be talking to friends and teachers, and they'd be asking me questions, and I would say yes, and if they look confused, I'd say no. If they still look confused, I'll just shrug my shoulder like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome. So how'd you get involved in sports? Like, what were some of the first sports you played?
So when I was a kid, we used to play soccer every day, and so we'd leave early in the morning, and the whole neighborhood kids, and would go play soccer all day, and we would steal socks and clothing, and we will take a bunch of plastic bags and we would sew it to turning it into a soccer ball. Wow. And so we used to play all day and come home at night. And then, so when I first came here, the one thing that was different. It was I didn't really know a lot of people, and it was hard to communicate. And so my parents thought it was best for me to join the sport of soccer, which I really liked. And so I actually tried out for Primo, and I played there with some friends that I actually have here now. So
cool.
Soccer was my first sport I played. So.
Did that get you into running? Because soccer is a sport with a lot of running. You think it kind of was a gateway into your running?
Definitely, I think it contributed because I actually recently found out soccer players run up to 7-8 miles a game.
You're right.
And so I think that did contribute. And me, especially Ethiopia being a very high altitude place, me running around all day, I think that might have set up my lungs perfectly, maybe. So yeah.
My buddy calls it marathon in a box. It's almost like you do an interval workout. It's like sprint back and forth, rest, sprint, go again. So
yeah, definitely. So we didn't even have goals, so we'll just kick soccer balls around all day, just running around the neighborhood. So it was fun.
Yeah, well, it's a great sport. So do you have an age where you realize maybe running is my ticket, and running is something I can really achieve great things in?
I don't think I really did until about sophomore year of high school. I think, in the beginning it was just it was more fun for a little bit, and I was new to the sport, and so I didn't know much about it, and I didn't know much about the times, and I didn't really realize until people kept coming up to me. They're like, "Wow, you're that fast, kid," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't really know the time, and so, but yeah, I think sophomore year is the year where I realized this can take me places. So.
Nice. Well, we got some footage here of you prior to sophomore year, and you might recall some of these races. That says the USA Track and Field Championship at Smithfield, Rhode Island. Yeah. November, 4 years ago. What was that race like for you?
That was actually the second race I ran. I ran Van Cortlandt the week before, and they decided to take me to that race and see if I can compete against a little bit older kids. Right. I finished second that race, and then after that they realized, this kid can compete. So they took me down to New Mexico to race, where I finished 3rd place. And so the two kids were 15-year-old kids, and I was 13 at the time. Right. So Yeah, that was, I think, the beginning of big races, so yeah,
Yeah.
it was exciting.
That's cool. So the other clips they showed the 2016 county championships,
Yeah.
the section championships, and the graphic that they're showing now was, I think you told me, from last year's state meet, and but it was the cover page on the New York State Public High School Athletic Association website for this year's race. So, like, speak to that. What? Let's talk about like 2016, because Warwick. You know, I worked in the Warwick program coaching. You know, there's always like team championships versus individual goals. So did you guys win county and section that year? That's 3 years ago, I think. I know
yes.
last year was the close race, right?
Yeah, last year
Yeah.
was. I think, you know, coming into, prior to coming to Warwick, I was
Yeah.
in Minnesink.
Right.
And so I was a transfer student freshman year. It was a big year for us because we had a lot of good guys and we were contenders in the state championship.
Right.
But the week before, we actually lost to Mount Academy.
Okay.
And at the county championship. And so it was a lot of building and just, you know, emotionally and physically just getting
Right.
prepared for that section championship. And, you know, I guess based off Coach Potter, I did my job because I was the first freshman to win a county championship
awesome.
and a section championship. And so, you know, that was exciting, but we got it done as a team and we came back and we actually won the section championship and we took a third place and we took second place at the state championship my freshman
That's
year.
awesome.
So yeah,
That's a
that
good
was a
feeling.
big time for us.
Yeah, it's big time.
Yep.
Yeah. So you got 4 section titles.
Yep, I became the first guy to win 4 section titles in Section 9 history.
I read that somewhere. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank
and
you.
then you won the state meet this year. So
Yep.
was that a goal of yours going into it? How did that feel? What was it like to finally win a Class A race, which to
Yeah.
me, I think that's the hardest race.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Talk about that a little bit.
Definitely, yeah. So, we know Class A is the most competitive, and
sure.
we usually have like bigger schools. And, you know, going into the state championship my freshman year, like, you know, I just kind of wanted to have fun, and I think Potter emphasized on that, and just for me to have fun. But I actually finished 10th place my freshman year.
That's amazing.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, and so coming in as a sophomore, he's like, okay, what can we do now? Building off of that.
Sure.
And I almost got it my sophomore year. I finished second place.
Wow.
And
I didn't
so
know that. That's
so
a
I
good
was
achievement.
second as a sophomore, and then my junior year I didn't have a great race. Like I ran a high speed rating, but
Right.
you know I
Holyrunners.com speed rating.
Hey, yep. Yeah, but I finished third as a junior, and this was the first time I actually lost to someone who was in my class.
Okay.
And so it was very devastating. But
Yeah.
coming into this year, you know, a lot of good returners, and going into the race, I was actually ranked number 4.
Wow.
But you know, in my head, like I knew I would not be satisfied with anything less than a win. So.
Right.
Going into it, I was mentally prepared physically. I've done the training, so going into it, I knew there was no one better than me in that race. So, yeah, I think, you know.
I remember watching the interview. I saw it on Twitter, and you
Yeah.
said how you surged for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Kind of like the strategy. Want to talk about that strategy a little bit?
Yeah. So I was actually injured
wow.
the week
No.
before the state championship, and so I couldn't really run. And so I was doing a lot of biking, and
wow.
I was doing a lot of biking in order to prepare me because I didn't want to take off because, you know, you don't want to mess up the training.
Yeah, sure.
And so one of my teachers and also my coach, Mr. Burns, he had me bike every day.
Cool.
And we'll do this interval where we'll go 2 minutes easy and for 30 seconds just put it on the hardest setting and we'll bike as hard as we can.
Right.
And so in the middle of the race, I think it was about a mile in, I said, like, let's try to surge for about 30 seconds, and that's where I really opened up my gap, and from then, just holding everybody off and to the finish,
I saw an interview, and that was great. Congratulations on that state championship. So
Thank you.
So the next step for you is you're going to trade your purple paws for blue paws. You're going to be a Nittany Lion. You're going to Penn State. Congratulations. So
Thank
what do
you.
you expect in the Big Ten or at the next level? What are you looking forward to or expecting collegiate running at the Division I level?
Yeah.
How do you think that's going to play out?
Yeah, I mean, it's truly a blessing, you know, to be able to compete at the next level. Not a lot of people can do it. So, you know, I'm glad that I got the opportunity to do this. But I think going into it, I think my freshman year, really no pressure. Just kind of adjust to racing against college students and just have fun. But I think, you know, in the next 4 years, maybe get an NCAA title. And I know that's a big goal, but I think that's
They
definitely.
have a good recruiting class.
Yeah, they have
That's
a-
a possibility.
Yeah, they have a really good. Like they have a couple national champions
Awesome,
and
that's
so
cool.
state champions.
Wow.
And so we got a couple of good guys coming in.
Right.
And so I think hopefully get an NCAA title for Penn State, and
That'd
I
be
think that
awesome.
would be great. And
That'd be
then
awesome.
from there probably just see how everything goes and
Yeah.
maybe turn pro if I get
That'd
out
be
the
great.
opportunity. So
That'd
yeah.
be great. I'd be like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, high school career's not done yet.
Yeah.
Currently doing indoor. You got outdoor. What are your goals for the rest of senior year in indoor and outdoor track?
Yeah, so I think I've always been like a team guy, and
Yeah.
I think this is the first year I'm gonna go, I think, individual path. And so my coach and I have discussed, and during indoor, I won a couple more state titles, and so
Cool.
I'm trying to get the 2 mile and mile state title, and
Right.
both indoor and outdoor. And I think for the rest, maybe break a 5K record, like
Yeah.
the school record for both indoor and outdoor. So
I think you'll be able to do that.
yeah.
This has been an awesome interview.
Thank you.
Like I've seen around the hallways, didn't really know about you.
Yeah.
You're always in Mr. Burns' room, right next to my classroom, and
Yeah.
wish you the best of luck the rest of the year. And I think this interview's been overdue. Thanks for coming on. I
Thank
appreciate
you for
it.
having me. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
this is great. So, with Coach Talk, we're going to be wrapping it up. Special thanks to our viewers for joining us as well. Remember to like and subscribe to WV Television on YouTube. For Coach Talk, I'm Ryan Candia. Catch you next time.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Welcome back to Overtime. Let's get back into our winter sports for the 2019-2020 school year. Next, we've got another senior spotlight. This time we look into our wrestling program and one of its most talented wrestlers. Let's take a look.
The first snowfall is a sure sign that the winter sports season has started at Warwick Valley High School. Warwick Wrestling is always working hard trying to get the titles they deserve, and senior Jeremy Mazzella is excited for his final wrestling season as a Wildcat.
I had to go to various off-season clubs in the summer, and I did 5 days a week at the gym. We're always working hard. We have our own wrestling room, but, we just get to grinding all the time.
Warwick Wrestlers have won many section and state titles, encouraging younger athletes to do the same. They are all eager to put their training to the test on the mat. Even though it may be cold outside, winter sports like wrestling are heating up.
Good luck to Jeremy Mazzella and the rest of the guys in the rest of the season. Up next, we showcase one of Warwick's most talented baseball players who's extending his academic and athletic career at the University of Binghamton.
Here at Warwick, baseball is a very prestigious and valued sport. However, few students such as Brandon Ortiz have the privilege of playing their favorite sport in college.
Ever since I was a kid, it's been my dream to play college baseball. I've had great role models around me, including my coach. He played 20 years professional baseball, and I just wanted to be like him all my life.
With his friends and family by his side, Brandon has agreed to play Division I baseball for Binghamton University.
And I'd like to thank my coaches, Coach Sherman, Coach Jacobson, Coach Todd, Coach McLaughlin, and Coach Luis Lopez. You all really helped me, and you all put a little bit into me that made me become the player I am today.
Brandon's love for baseball and work ethic as a student give a prime example of what it means to be a student athlete. From WVTV, this is Julius Caraballo reporting.
We wish the best of luck to Brandon Ortiz in his college baseball career. Looks like that's all we've got for Overtime. Thank you for joining us, and if you like our content, check out our YouTube channel down below at Warwick Valley Television. I'm your host, Danny Moore-Jesse. I'll see you next time.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look,